Well, it is what it is. We got the Fuente Unnamed Reserve 2021 that I believe I had it around 2022 in Colorado. I paid a much higher price. This is was I believe produced. It says 2016, and then they held it back for 5 years, and then they released it. So now we're gonna smoke this. It's like a Robusto size, around 48 gauge, basically 5 and change by 48. So kind of like a perfect Robusto size. Any Robusto in 50 or 52, it might be a little better than 48. You might get a little less time and a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, you're getting less tobacco for your money, but the difference is, it's probably gonna be more potent, so it is what it is. We are bundled up. I'm probably gonna put my gloves and my hat on in a minute here. We got layers, jackets and t-shirts and undershirts. It's still about 20 degrees, but with the wind and just resting here, it feels more like 10 to 15, which at that point, it just doesn't matter. It's freezing, which is exciting. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I did smoke one of these the other night, and I enjoyed it, but I didn't review it. I just enjoyed it. I hope you're doing well. This is probably the last episode. I hate this place. I hate this world. I wish you the best, though. And it is what it is. It is what it is. This world is a race that I don't want the prize. I don't even want to compete in it. Like, it's a pile of dog shit. But I wish you the best. It's an unnamed wrapper. The rest of it is Dominican. So is this a Dominican Puro? It could be, but they don't list the wrapper. But it is listed as a sun-grown, though. My guess is maybe some type of Ecuadorian outsourced sun-grown wrapper. Some nice sweetness on the foot, little punginess, but it's not as heavy pungent as you would get like an Opus or one of those other ones. So, would I put this cigar on the same? It's an upper tier Fuente. Definitely up there, whether you like the Hemingways or Anejos or the Don Carlos. And even within them, those ranges, you would say like the Don Carlos, well, you would say the Anejos above Don Carlos and the Hemingways, right? Or you would say the Don Carlos is above Hemingway, but the Anejos above Don Carlos. And price points, as far as regular, yeah, I guess so. At the same time, perception, no. Because if you want a really nice Cameroon, no matter what could an Anejo do for you? You go get the Hemingway or Don Carlos. And I'll say this. Don Carlos is different. If you really want like a classical Cameroon, go for the Hemingway. Save your money, and that feels more like a Cameroon. The way they blend that feels more Cameroon. I can't stress it enough. But the Don Carlos feels something different. It feels like a Cameroon, but all I could say is Don Carlos is different than the Hemingway short story. If it wasn't, they wouldn't make it. So it depends what you want to do. Don Carlos is definitely a little classier than the Hemingway. A little more polished. But then we're not even talking about like Don Carlos Personal Reserve, which is one of the stronger Cameroons, and that's a whole nother story. Here we go. Sure, very good. I did leave this out on my table all day. And the humidity in my apartment's about 35% humidity. So that's a good thing. If you want to let your cigar just dry out a little bit. A heavy medium plus, good amount of floral notes, but a nice pungent sweetness. Like a twangy, fermented, like a syrupy sweetness. Picture if you mixed like that pancake syrupy sweetness you get off higher end Fuentes but then you made it a little funky. Like you put a little oof, a little oof, you know? Not as easy to love as the Añejo or the Hemingway. I'm definitely enjoying it even more than when I had it the other night. The other night I bought it at the lounge and I lit it up right there at the bar. This, letting it shed a little bit of moisture. I hate to say it, guys, but most shops, and this is a good shop, but most shops, the cigars, these were sitting there a long time. They're just going to be a little too moist. So anytime you can let a cigar just breathe, even a couple hours on your table, out of the cellar, just let it fucking shed some moisture, bro. You're going to get better smoke production, and you're going to get more of a crisper, you're going to get better flavor. I can't stress it enough. I got another cigar in this pocket. Oh, shit. I'll tell you what. Out of everything Fuente makes, I think their sun-growns are the least likable. Like, their Cameroons, top-notch. The Maduros, like the Añejo or the Ashton Asian Maduro, that's a Fuente, or the Hemingway Maduro, fantastic. Or the Opus X Oscuro, right? The rich charred wood's coming in, which is mixing well with that pancake syrup. But it has that funky fermented oof, like a choach that's been kind of oofing, you know, festering. I like the cigar. It is rather smooth. You're talking about a cigar that was produced, you know, rolled 2016. So you're talking about 5 years. This was released 2021, right? Yeah, 2021. We're in 2025. Holy shit! I'm having like a Murtaugh moment from Lethal Weapon. Too old for this shit. My mind's blown right now. So this came out. Holy shit! This was released. Well, this was rolled 2016 and released in 2021. This was rolled when President Trump won his first election. And now I'm smoking it after he was reinstated for his second election. For almost 9 years later. Wow. Wowza. Wowza. Could I recommend the Unnamed Reserve 2016? I could, actually. I think I really could. This is actually quite nice. I think sun-grown on the Fuente side, the way it mixes with the Dominican tobacco, it can be, well, know what it is, too? Most Fuente blends are very easy to love. Whether they're magical or beautiful, or the Añejo, the Hemingway, or magical like the Opus X, you're like, each blender, you're like, oh, yeah. It just hugs you, you know? I think their sun-growns are not so much as easy to love, but they can be enjoyed. It's just because a cigar is not easy to love. It doesn't mean that it can't be a great cigar. If anything, sometimes cigars that are not easy to love, they can maybe challenge your mind. They could challenge, why the fuck would you smoke this? Or what is it doing to my chocha? You know? We're at a medium full right there. I'll tell you what, it's got some stank, some funk to it. It's got some fermented oof, a choach. It's oof. You know, like oof, when something's not fresh. In this case, we're talking about where it's like a funky cheese. You know what I'm saying, though? Or, you know, like a fermented fruit. You know, like where it's like, woof. It takes time. Of course, with a fermented fruit or fermented cheese, that could be different. Aged cheese. All right. But fermented chocha, I'm making a joke. You don't want fermented chocha. If that was ever a thing, I'd walk away from it. I wouldn't go to the other side either. I would just give up on chocha. Nobody wants fermented chocha. Just covered in blue cheese and like and old maple syrup. Yeah. It's been covering that for 3 months in saran wrap. You're like, oof, this is oof. You see the back shots are just like burning your eyes. You're like, oh God, oh, oof. You like that, baby? Oof, oh man, that's some funky chocha. Oh yeah, what the hell am I even talking about here? I'm sitting here in a Corolla with the aged Fuente talking about funky chocha. In the end, this is because society's become so antisocial. People don't have real friends anymore for the most part, or they don't have very limited human experience. Pretty soon you're going to be having a robot living in your house telling you everything's going to be okay. All before Skynet slits all of our throats and the robots take over. But they leave just enough alive, probably to drink our blood. It is what it is. Sodom and Gomorrah, smoke your best shit. I like the cigar. The number rating, I'll give later on, but I would say I would recommend it. Now, I paid $11, which was MSRP. Now, they were gouging this thing over, I think they said the summertime at the cigar event. They had some out there they got from Fuente because they held these boxes back, whatever, it's a limited edition. And they were selling them for like $22. I'll tell you what, $11 is a lot better. I probably should go back tomorrow and buy a few more. I'll tell you what, it is a grand cigar. It is extremely enjoyable, but not easy to love. If you kind of want to go against the grain, if you want to have something funky, but spicy and kind of sweet, but like funk, like it's got a lot of funk, baby. For the record, too, my arm is still healing. I don't know what I tore, or I know I didn't break a bone, but a mixture of either maybe a pinching a nerve from my neck down to my thumb, which would be around the C5, C6. But on top of that, yeah, it's just been it's been not so great. I'm hoping it heals. Yeah, I feel like such a bitch at the gym. I was doing 100-pound curls to like, what am I doing now? Nothing. I gotta let the arm heal. Because I don't know if it's just a tear in the small part of the upper bicep, or if it's just a pinched nerve. I guess give it time. It's been over a month now. It's been right before Christmas. It's been over a month. So I don't know. So it is what it is. But who gives a shit? I'm enjoying this cigar. It's delicious. Not easy to love, though. If you like a sun-grown with some pizzazz, with some funky to the choach, you're going to enjoy it. Smoking time's about average right now. Not fast, not slow. But I would definitely recommend letting the cigar breathe a little bit. Don't smoke this thing really wet. If anything, Fuente's generally pretty good about using really good aged tobacco, but they're generally fuller packed cigars, even though they're not always real strong. So my point is, though, if you smoke let's say a Padron versus a Fuente wet, Padron is underpacked in a way, so and so they'll still operate very well. A wet Fuente, what I mean by wet Fuente is, if you didn't let it breathe, now could be hit or miss. But if you're, all I'm saying is, even if every time you think you enjoy that Fuente, or any cigar, but right now we're talking about Fuentes, take it out of the cellophane even like 6-7 hours before you smoke it. Just leave it on your table. Then when you smoke it, I'm telling you, you're going to get a little better combustion, a little better draw, and you're going to get more flavor. Enjoyable. It's about 65% darkness. The finish is quite long and heavy, and we're only in the first third here. I'm going to drop that ash in a minute. I'm going to come back. Rich cedar, charred wood. It's a complex woodsy kind of a cigar, which is quite nice. It's like, if you like a lot of wood, so you're getting like, dry cedar, also like charred wood. That's nice. That, I think, is going to be the combination of them letting that sit for a long. You're talking about after they roll this, they let it sit for 5 years. That's something like Hanabe would do, and and you're sitting in what? Is it just sit in the boxes they put them in? Maybe. Or in an aging room? Maybe even better. Get all that cedar note. Like your sister on a Saturday night. Complex wood notes. I'll come back. Enjoyable. It's quite an oily wrapper as well, too. Nothing bad to say about it. As long as you want something that's not like the classical, chocolate or, nutty vanilla, a little bit. No, this is kind of funky. Kind of funky. It's kind of funky. But I like it. Some girls could be the in-between, like, natural Connecticut shade or, which there's nothing natural about putting cheesecloth to protect its tobacco to grow lighter. I was talking with PG the other night about why don't they just spray sunscreen on the tobacco, or even in striations, and we could have leaves with a built-in barber pole. Now, obviously, we can't smoke sunscreen tobacco, but is a possibility if we could have shade-grown or half shade-grown tobacco, where half the leaf gets sunscreen. Striations, like tiger stripes. Hey, listen, AJ Fernandez, still cold out. Getting really into it. It's a nice medium full strength cigar at this point. Still 65% darkness. Long, heavy finish though. And even with all this time being rolled 2016 production to us, and then held back for 5 years, and we're smoking it 4 years later. Even if it's 3 full years, because we just got into 2025. So really, we can't count the whole 2025. So if it was released in 2021, let's say, even if it was at the end of the year, 22, 23, 24, it could be 3 to 3.5 years post-release, which was 5 years post-production. So really, we're talking about 8 years post-production, max maybe 9. Who knows? Who gives a shit? Really enjoyable. If you could find any of these still out there for this price of $11, I can really recommend it. At least buy a couple. See how it hits your choke. Just let me tell you something. I'm having such a better experience letting this be a little drier than from when I smoked it. Also, when I smoked this at the cigar lounge, I was at the bar, and the guy next to me was smoking, Betty, the flavored bouncing, whatever stupid 451 cigars those are. The Deadwood ones, or the flavor that smell like potpourri and shit combined. Still very funky. Still quite spicy on the black pepper. Rich cedar and charred wood. And later on, since last time we talked, a nice raw sugar's coming into it. But it still has that syrupy sweetness to it, though. It's still very funky, though. I would say, all in all, it's a really awesome cigar with a lot of complexity. And the complexity's on the tongue as well. It's been a perfect burn, perfect draw, typical Fuente quality. I can't feel this hand. It's cold out. I have nothing bad to say about this cigar. Where would I put it? Oof, it's getting stronger there. That's a heavy medium full right there. Maybe I'll give it a second, because we'll see if this thing picks up even more. This thing is wrapping up my choke. I've enjoyed it from the beginning. It's had some real quality flavor, some real interesting complexity, a lot of that woofy funkiness, plenty of sweetness, plenty of spices, souring, right? I like this cigar, 4.7. Enjoyable. Quite potent still, but make sure you let it breathe. You don't want to smoke this wet, because I'm telling you, it wasn't. I enjoyed it the other day, but I just got it from the shop. It definitely was wet. I think Fuente's more than like a Padron, or even Davidoff. They need let it shed some moisture. They really packed this cigar. Enjoyable. I gotta say, it's quite pungent. There's a breadiness to it with that sour and the puckeriness. The black pepper's very nice, syrupy, and the raw sugar. And then you get that wood, the dual wood note with the charred wood and the cedar. Long, heavy finish. I got nothing bad to say about it. I think we're gonna end it on that. 4.7. Kind of a strong, aged, sun-grown, with an undisclosed wrapper. I'm gonna guess some type of Ecuadorian Habano sun-grown. That would be my guess. Ecuadorian grown Habano seed, grown in the sun. Wow. Wowza. We're almost at full strength. I might go another minute. We're almost at full strength. Quite potent towards the end. And we're not even totally at the very end here. We still got another about 2-inch total. So it's maybe about an inch and a half, maybe at best, inch and a quarter of smoking. Wow, right on my choch. Yeah, I enjoyed this cigar. I think you would enjoy it. Had $11 MSRP. Oh yeah, that's a banger. That's a banger. Now look, if you like easy to, excuse me, can't feel my side of my face, my nose. Oh, it's cold. If you like easy to love cigars like Connecticut's, or nice easy to love Cameroon, or a nice easy, medium plus Maduros, is not for you. I don't think the cigar is for beginners either. And I'm not saying it's a scary cigar, but I'd say it's rather strong for Fuente. Holding that smoke, wow, there's even a little floralness to it. White. Wow, really holding it? It's going on my choch. I think even the rear choch. Let's see if it gets the gooch. Wow. Here we go. Wow, shit. That's full strength. Wowza. Wow. Oof. Yeah, that's the grand slam. Me, you, my front, rear, and the gooch. Wowza. Standing ovation. I gotta admit, the cigar was a good time. In fact, it was a great time. 4.7, strong for a Fuente. A lot of flavor. Nothing bad to say about it. Except I can't feel my face how cold it is outside. All right, we're done here. You guys stay fresh. I guess I'll see you soon, but this is the last episode, so hey, thanks for enjoying the channel. Last time. See you around.